Baby. Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Matty Chymbor podcast. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had fun. Hope you feel good today, and hope you're ready to grind it out, baby. Real quick, I'll be in Boston, Massachusetts, October 7th and 8th, and I will be in Chicago October 10th. Tickets in the link below. Come hang out. I'm a crazy guy when I'm on stage. It's going to be a lot of fun. I say random things that you think are very weird. That's to put it lightly. Anyways, and then December 4th, I'll be in Spokane, Washington. Again, tickets in the link below. Come hang out. I'll be there. We can hang out. We can have a beer after. We can do whatever. I mean, it's just going to be a good time, and I need you guys there. We're going to have a good time. So, yeah, hope you guys had a wonderful week. I just took a sip of coffee. You ever sip coffee and it's cooled down since you made it, and it's the exact temperature as your mouth, and you don't even feel it going in your mouth? That is the most bizarre feeling. I just took a mouthful of a liquid, and it started spilling out because I didn't feel it going in my mouth because it just was like the same temperature of my boca, as the Italians would say. Boca. But it's delicious, people. I've been drinking too much coffee. I need to chill with the coffee. I mean, my left eye has always been very prone to allergies. It dries out easier. I don't know what it is. I'm at the age where I'm just falling apart. Things are going wrong. I can see down the road what's going to go wrong. My eye's going to fall out. My cholesterol will be high. I mean, I'm going to have a kidney stone at some point in my life. But lately, in the last couple years, my left eye has been freaking watery. And I've been told, don't mind the construction. They're just fucking apparently just throwing tile on the ground and breaking it. But anyways, the last couple years, when it gets certain like allergy season, my left eye gets dry. I don't know it's dry because it starts watering. When you think watery eye, you don't think dry eye. I didn't know that. My doctors kind of told me. They prescribed eye drops for allergies. That never worked. And then finally had one doctor, and he told me that you got to use like a lubricating eye drop, which I did. It got better, but I just noticed this eye's been weird. And more specifically, I think it gets like dehydrated easier, and it's because I've been drinking a ton of caffeine. Very frustrating. I woke up yesterday at a show in San Diego last night, and drank coffee in the morning, drank coffee on the way down there, minimal water all day, had a couple White Claws at the show, and then to stay awake because my girlfriend couldn't, because she is a little baby and sleeps like an infant. She's not an infant, for the record. She is a 32-year-old woman, but she sleeps like a little baby. So daddy had to drink more coffee. I wake up today, my left eye, it just gets like really dry eye symptoms of like, it's kind of a little blurry. I know, I'm drinking more water. I'm using the eye drops, but what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Just falling apart. I'm sick of this shit. I'm getting older. I thought I had a kidney stone. They had to shove a camera in my penis. And there was no kidney, or they thought I was pissing blood, microscopically speaking. I like to say that because people think I'm disgusting and just piss blood, even though regardless of if it's visible or not, that sounds weird to say out loud. I fucking pissed blood microscopically. They found more cells than normal. Fucking had to go to the doctor. Of course, they're going to tell you scary things like, yeah, it's probably nothing, or it could be bladder cancer and you're going to explode. You're like, hey, how come we go from 0 to 100? Drake, let's fucking chill, Dr. Drake. This guy's just saying shit. Had to get just a rule. Every doctor wants to rule things out. I know how to be a doctor. You just fucking run tests until you rule shit out. And if one test comes back normal, that's it. Or you do the other ones to rule out the other shit. It's just a lot of ruling out. Well, no, it doesn't ruling things out when it involves shoving a camera in my penis. Dude, this is the fucking worst. I got my eye. I'm getting camera shoved in my fucking gank. And know what? Nothing. It was nothing. They just said I have forming of kidney stones and I got to drink more citrus. Boy, you went from the big C word to another very less C word. It can either be cancer or you're going to have to drink more citrus. You're like, Jesus fuck. Can you scare me less? You're going to either have to get radiation or have a glass of OJ. Like, boy. We got a real velvet tongue over here, doctor. Shut the fuck up. I got a little bit of a grit. I mean, I'm just getting annoyed at everything. I'm just annoyed. People always ask me, hey, how's it been since quitting your job? I don't know. I'm stressed all the time now. Although it's been 2 months. It's been 2 months on the 24th. So we're 2 months and 2 days into the job-free world. And guess what? It feels, since it put it in perspective, I got a lot done in 2 months. I'm trying to just pull back. But I got a little grit on me now. Got a little edge. I'm like a something like I'm like a corner of a table. If you get near me, I'm gonna hit you in the fucking hip. I'm gonna clip your hip, and you're gonna go, gah. Didn't hurt a lot. It didn't, like, in the grand scream, in the no pun intended, in the grand scheme of pain, it didn't hurt that bad. But guess what? It fucking hurt at the moment. And I got you. I'm like a fucking piece of furniture that just sticks out and hits you in the fucking heel and the ankle and the toe. That's how I fight. I just attack things that furniture attacks on your body because it's tender. My eyeball is pissing. My piss is fine now, I guess, because I drink orange juice. I had high cholesterol at one point because I enjoy short ribs. I mean, what the fuck? So anyways, yeah, I drank coffee on the way home because I had to drink more to stay awake because I'm the tribe leader. That's what I thought about in the shower. I'm like bitching at my girl for falling asleep, but it's like I'm the tribe leader. I'm the guy. I lead the pack. I think I grew up with all women in my life. My mom was such a alpha. She would just had to take the fucking bull by the horns always. So sometimes I hold women to the standard I think they talk about wanting to be held to, or I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm tired. I was annoyed because I slept like shit the night before. She knew that. I had to take a nap before we drove down. I was exhausted. I had to headline the show, which doesn't mean much, but it's exhausting. It takes a lot out of you. Finally, the way back, I'm like, just drive some. I mean, I said some, but I kind of like, dude, just drive the whole way. I mean, fuck. But, she fell asleep like a little baby, and I had to be the man. I had to man up. I fucking did it. I thought about that in the shower. I'm like, what do you care? That's what you should have done. But again, my mom was such a fucking. She had no dude to have drink the coffee late at night. If she did, I had a stepdad, and now she has a wonderful fiance. But as far as when I saw my single mom, that's the mom I remember. The single mom who had to work and do all that stuff. So in my head, when I was being a little tired, whiny bitch, I'm like, fuck, come on, like, fucking figure it out. If I wasn't here, you'd figure it out. But, that was also a reminder of be the fucking hunter. She's the gatherer, you're the hunter. Fucking, what are you crying about? No crying. There's no more whining. I whine a lot. I'm a big whiner. I get annoyed easily, and sometimes I want to vocalize it, but I realize you shouldn't always do that. You shouldn't always vocalize your things that annoy you, because guess what? As somebody whose job it is to pick apart the world, I can bitch all day. And you know what? On my father's side, I say that because I don't talk to him. So when you don't talk to your father, you say things like that. On my father's side, I have a cousin, and he was just, I remember him just whining. He was always bitching. I got kicked off the baseball team in high school because I went on vacation with my family. You're like, yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that. What are you, dumb? You have a commitment to a team. You do the team shit. Like, what, And I just remember him whining. And then in the midst of me whining about not even my eye, just other things in life, I'm just like, don't be that. Don't take that side of the fucking. That's when I realized, like, what I've got from my mom's side and what I got from my dad's side. Because I didn't know my dad growing up, so I fucking, I know all the traits I got from my mom. What do I say? What do I do from, I don't know. My mom likes cooking. I see mannerisms. I'll fucking let you guys know next episode. But as far as my dad's side, I see these little things now that trickle in, like, the bitchy, whiny little, that's annoying. I don't like my dad. You're like, don't do that. Shut the fuck up. And that's my mom's side. The shut up. Not even in a rude way. That's what I realized. My ex used to say I would name call. I'd say rude things. And I'm like, first off, that's how I've always spoke. I always shut the fuck up. And my mom's side, we get over things quick. It annoys us. We freak out a little bit. But the silver lining to that is we're just like, shut the fuck up. It's done. Shut up. You're done. We're over this. That person gets annoyed, but then 3 seconds later, I'm like, "Are we good? Let's move on." You know, it's like sometimes you have to fucking just, it's like shock therapy. That's how I talk sometimes, and people, you know, everybody realize that's the bad way how I talk, and I realize some people are like, you know, like name calling, and like, yeah, but you also are fucking manipulative, and you talk like you'll say these like very accusational things that have zero factual proof to get a rise out of somebody, but then you're shocked when they tell you to shut the fuck up. What a contradiction that is, isn't it? So, just bitching left and right. Can't do that anymore. I'm gonna do. Although for my job, you pride and poke and, you know, do all that stuff. I like bitching though. It's fun. That's how people fucking. That's how. I think in any way to kind of bond. I feel like bitching is a fun bonding ritual. Like boasting. No one's boasting to bond. Ooh, I just got a raise at work. I just got a raise at work. And now they're competing. You don't compete with the bitching. Some people do. They try to like one up each other. But I feel like bonding, like, this fucking sucks. Somebody's like, this does fucking suck. What do this shit is dumb. And then your coworker's like, I fucking hate this place. You'll be better friends with that coworker than if there's another coworker like, I just got a raise. And you're like, oh, I just got a raise. And he's like, well, I just got a new car. And he's like, well, I'm going to go get a new car. You're like, no, that's not. You're going to hate each other in like a fucking month. Because you're going to be like, this fucking guy. And then you're going to go to the other coworker and be like, that guy fucking sucks. Like, he does fucking suck. That's it. That's why I like bitching. But, you know, in relationships, sometimes I have to stop myself and tell my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm sorry. I know I'm complaining quite a bit. It's like autopilot. That's how fucking I come up with material. So inevitably, that, you know what I'm saying? That's like, it's my brain goes to autopilot, and sometimes I do it to just wrap my head around things. I will bitch, but in a way, I'm bitching at it by peeling off the layers. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, what the fuck, you know, like, so as I'm understanding something, I'm ridiculing the layers I'm peeling off so I can understand it, and then inside there's a metaphor comparing how dumb this is to something else. And that's just how it is. That's just how I work. That's how my brain works. But sometimes in the midst of peeling that annoying orange, sometimes she's like, I don't want to hold this peel that you bitched. I don't want to hold your peels. Does this make sense, people? I think it makes sense. I like it. I like talking like this. And guess what? I'm going to do what I want to do because, and it's not like a screw you type thing, but it's just like, what the fuck? You know, I'll do what the fuck I want. Everybody's trying to control everybody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Fucking cares. But that's how I understand things. I remember from day one, and it's funny when you make a metaphor comparing one thing to the other. That's a form of humor. I didn't realize that even when I was little, and I would always do that to compare, to understand, and I'd compare things and be like, oh, so this is like that over there, and then my mom would laugh and be like, yeah, actually, you're right, because I realized people don't think like that necessarily, or always for that matter, and then that's why. And you're like, that's why sometimes I don't find the things I say funny, because I'm just saying things to wrap my head around it. So I have two versions of me. I have like the one where people laugh and I don't know why it's funny. Now I realize, like, when I do the analogies and whatnot, and then there's a side that's just learned how to write humor via comedy. But it's weird because, like, the funniest shit you say is when you almost like don't know why it's funny. You're just like you're so yourself and you're not even trying to be funny, and then people just like that part about you, and then you're funny. So I'm trying to find that, but you know, you gotta pick and choose, because I don't want to be annoying to be around. I think nobody wants to be annoying to be around. I'm already trying to work on being a better friend. I don't need to be annoying people and shit like that. I want to be fun to be around, and then one of my flaws is I don't keep in touch with people, and it's not because I don't want to. It's just I'm just so in my head with this career path. It just inundates you every day, every second of the day. You could be doing something. You're watching, analyzing this person. Why did they get that? And I know that's not healthy, but guess what? In the moment, I am. That's how I act. So you get so inundated in tunnel vision on how to do this and the other. There's no like right or wrong way. There's no like boss of comedy being like, you do this and you go to here and then we'll get you there. And no, everyone's like, fuck you. You can't come here. You can't go there. So you're always trying to find, you got to be very creative. It takes a lot of brain power, and what falls victim to that is me just keeping in touch with people, which I feel very bad about. And so I don't want to be annoying, and then I'm fucking annoying people. And then even if they want to see me, I'm like, you're trying to. Nobody wants to be annoying. It's very easy to fucking be annoying, but I don't know. I've been trying to just chill out. That's the trick. You just gotta chill out without critiquing yourself. Chill out. Sit on the couch. Fucking relax. You gotta set. You gotta, I set a very stringent. What does stringent mean? Stringent. Not string theory. Who came up with that fucking thing? Stringent, strict, precise, exact. Yeah, I guess I set up a pretty stringent to-do list. But in the inverse of that, I need to fucking set up a free time and not fucking be on my phone looking at shit. But then even in that free time, I'm watching TV. I'm watching Netflix getting annoyed. You know what I watched recently? That Untold. Let me see what it says before I go on a fucking rant. Untold Manti Teo. That's what I'm going to say. Bro. I watched that Untold with Manti Teo. He was the Notre Dame football player who, at the time I remember this shit, where and this is kind of a spoiler alert. I mean, if you don't know it, it was a news story a while ago, but I'm just bringing it back up. Sorry. I'm like kind of burping. I'm doing that like weird cousin of burp. Not that. I just made 4 noises that fucking are all involuntary. The woo, the inhale. I just talked about burping. That Manti Teo shit, basically, he was a Notre Dame football player, and he got catfished, which, I mean, the more you watch catfish stories, the more I'm shocked that that's not an illegal act. Like, the fact that nobody's ever pressing charges on these fucking people. Manti Teo, long story short, and it's a double-edged sword with this, my opinions on this, because as much as the person was wrong, he should have known. I mean, it's like... But again, we've all almost got catfished, and there's a moment where you're like, oh man, how did I not see that? I mean, I think it's people who catfish, they attack the vulnerable and the not even gullible. We're just like, I'm just a good person. I like when people would be like, you're so gullible. I'm like, no, I just trust humanity. I know that it's sad that that's like a bad trait to have. But, I mean, I remember my old roommate got fucking catfished for like a week. I mean, and that was long. And we're like, dude, what's up with this chick? And he's like, I don't know, every time we try to FaceTime and this, that, and the other. And he was like obsessed with her. She's showing us all these hot pictures. And I'm like, man, fuck that. And then we found the real girl. But it's always funny. It always comes to a head with trying to contact them via phone, like FaceTime or something like that. But... I mean, the fact I can see why you get catfish, but it's like, again, my friend, it happened to him for like a week, so I can, he did troubleshooting enough where I was like, okay, this is fucking fake and blah blah blah. He ended up finding the girl whose photo she was using, and said someone's using your pictures, even though the person's like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do about it. But the Manti Teo thing, it's interesting because I mean he didn't wrap his head around it for like 3 years. And I think there's like sub-levels of why that is. It's because, I mean, say what you want. He was like religious. He seemed very like football, like sports-driven, God-driven family. Like basically what I'm getting at, he had no social skills. I mean, I think somebody in their right mind who was a very social human being and understood shit would get what was going on. I mean, but then again... This motherfucker, it was weird that like family members that he'd consult, like, yo, do you know this person? They say they know you so-and-so. They'd be like, yeah, they would just agree. So every time he would try to fact check the catfish, people in his family or friends of friends would be like, oh, I know that. Yeah, I know who that is. And then it would move on. So it's like, he actually like got fucked over by his like immediate circle for a little bit because of false confirmations. But then, like, okay, so that's him. I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he did try to troubleshoot, didn't work. I think down the road in the story where he really started to get weird, he started to come to. But what I'm getting at with this whole fucking catfish story is the fact that this person, Renoa, who is what was the man that tried to catfish, or did catfish the Manti guy. I mean, how is that not illegal? At what level of catfishing, even at the smaller level, but like at the level of the Manti guy where it was like a public thing, he was getting harassed, like, is it not illegal? Why is that person free? And why the fuck is that person in the documentary, talking like they're a celebrity now? Like, it was the most insane shit to me where half the documentary was the fucking Renoa. Well, so he transitioned to a woman. I don't know what the woman name is now, but it was half her and half Manti. And you're just like, why are you shedding light to this fucking awful person? It reminds me of like all these documentaries, true crime documentaries now, where we're like priding the murderer over the victims, or you're giving them equal stage time. You're like, what are you doing? And this person, on top of that, the catfish person, we'll just keep saying Renoa for the sake of the argument, was like enjoying the publicity. You can just tell when you watch people how they interview. She thought she was like cool. She thought she was something, and she thought we like cared about her opinion on the matter. We kind of did, but we cared about the facts, not like her fucking opinion. Like, there was a few instances where she just like thought like, yeah, like I'm like, you're gossiping. Like, no, we're trying to get the fucking information out of you because you're a legitimate sociopath, and the fact that you're walking around free is insane to me. And then there's times where she's like, I guess they finally caught, it all came to a head. I mean, I'm skipping over a ton of dialogue and this, that, and the other, but it came to a head, and like just the way she was like talking, like, she was on Dr. Phil for one of the parts, because they caught her and they were trying to understand how he could be doing the girl voice, and they did this stuff, and just the way she was like, okay, Dr. Phil, like, you need to, like, you're like, stop trying to be funny. You're a psychopath who ruined this kid's life for whatever fucked up reason. I mean, it's insane to me that we even made the documentary, or that person can just like walk around, and they're like, they painted the picture like, okay, she moved on, that was her demons, and this is me. You're like, no, you're not equal. You ruined a kid's fucking life, of which the nicest person on earth. Like, I mean, Manti Te'o, he was like a Tim Tebow. I mean, he was that level of like, he was very religious, fucking great athlete. I know Tim Tebow after in the pros kind of did whatever, but that level of character. So it just irked the fuck out of me. It drove me so nuts that we're like, it's a TV show. You're ruining someone's life. I feel like in the future we're going to look back and be like, how was Catfish like a TV show? How did we just let these like fucking people just go free without getting like, I mean, like, impersonating someone on the internet for personal gains towards somebody else? Like, how is that not illegal? I don't fucking know. Don't mind me when I touch my contact because my fucking eye. God, that pissed me off so much. That fucking bitch, dude. That fucking bitch. What does it say? Man reacts to responses of untold. Yeah, I think you said he was happy about it. Manti Te'o's married. Now they're like, who's your wife? But it's like, that just goes to show on top of that, like when all this shit went down, how just like the media and people just pile on, and just like, it reminded me of like the comment section on like a video when like one person finds an issue with something and they all just pile on for personal gains. All these people just trying to like be funny. And I remember don't move on. Just trying to be funny and just taking jabs, and like every news outlet and all that bullshit was just trying to be fucking, not news outlet, but whoever, any blog, any sort of channel for that matter, that can get notifications. But it's crazy because Deadspin, I believe it was called, they were like a college blog. They were like at the time like a Barstool Sports before it was like an app. they came out with a story. I think they claim like, we were trying to really come out with it because it was just the idea of the fact that when Manti would talk about how his girlfriend died, which in his defense, the catfish said that the turned the voice, played a dude on the phone and was playing his quote unquote girlfriend's cousin and said she died of leukemia in a hospital and this, that, and the other. And you're like, he was crying. I go, bro, at what point, how are you not like searching this information? Like, how are you not doing anything? That's the part where you watch it. You're like, Manti, what the fuck are you doing? I know you just like quote unquote lost somebody. I keep saying quote unquote. You're saying you lost somebody, but I mean, you're not really. It's strange. It was very strange. I recommend watching it. But what was I just saying? Sorry, there's a car alarm going off. They were rude. They were doing this. He got, the thing died. Sorry, you go on these tangents when you're by yourself and you have no one here to remind you of what the fuck you just said. Anyways, yeah. It's interesting that we just, Deadspin. So basically they were trying to, when the girlfriend died, they were trying to exploit how all the news outlets had the wrong information, which triggered them to dig more into the freaking investigation and exploit how these news outlets suck. And then they found out how nothing lined up, and then they have no information on the girlfriend who died and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, they're trying to claim like they came out for another reason, even though you're fucking shitting on this dude. I mean, what are you doing? But then again, as a news outlet, I'm like, fuck, if you found a story where like someone's just faking a girlfriend, even though they weren't faking, they were getting tricked. And then they try to reach out to him, and he didn't know because of and it's so weird how like in this documentary, how it all came to a head as far as like, right when they wanted to reach out to kind of like, be like, dude, what's going on with this shit? We're going to put this story out. Do you want to like, weigh in? I feel like if he did, he could have like thwarted them and be like, bro, I'm getting catfish right now, which would have changed the story completely. But instead it made it look like he was a psycho who lied about having a girlfriend, which in actuality, he didn't answer because he just realized that he's getting fucked over. And this fucking... he didn't want to he didn't know everything yet. So it was like, dude, talk about a perfect storm of just some fucking fat idiot psychopath tricking this guy. But he found out because this bitch claimed to die. So the catfisher killed the girlfriend, and the catfisher called Manti as like the brother or the cousin, was like, so-and-so died. And then, like a true fucking psychopath, the catfisher was like selfish and only cared about themselves, and actually called Manti weeks after the death apparently, and was like, it's me, I just didn't want, I was getting jealous. You're like, this person couldn't even catfish and just keep the person dead and move on. They actually are, and mind you, on top of all this, the day Manti's grandma passed away, the catfish person felt like they were being neglected, and then had the girlfriend die to just get a response out of them. Again, it's like, how is this legal? This is the most psychotic behavior. I guess you can't, but like, that person should be in a psych ward. And then a few weeks later, again, to get a rise, she realized she killed off the only connection she had to Manti and couldn't move on, and had the girlfriend come back from the dead saying she was lying about this and the fucking other thing, and you're just like, bro, it just, oh my God, it makes me so angry. That's the shit. And again, this is me going back to trying to calm down. This is how I felt watching that documentary the whole time. I'm trying to fucking take my little break from this world, and I'm watching some fat fucking Samoan chick catfish this premier great guy athlete, and I'm just like, what's going on right now? This is not okay. Then it got me thinking about catfishing and how I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Me and my college roommates catfished one of our other roommates. It was for his own good. It was for his own good. His name was Shane. Me and my other buddies He's always very full of himself. Good guy, full of himself. Had a blowout. It was 2006. They were still cool, kind of. They were new. They weren't even cool. This was like early. This is pre-Jersey Shore. And he'd always go. This is Boston, Massachusetts. He'd always go down to the tanning salon, and we were on Facebook. Or AOL. I forgot which one. Let's say Facebook. And we pretended we made a girl account. Her name was Tatiana, and we pretended like we worked at the tanning salon that he was always going to. And it was very, very innocent. And it was fun because as dudes, guys will talk about when they're talking about other girls. So he would brag to us about the girl that we made up. How am I going to fucking sit here and say that it should be illegal and I'm admitting to doing the thing that I hated that he did? Although our story is so much more lighthearted. So he's bragging because it's college. Everyone's talking to 4 different girls. Everyone's chat. Everyone's horny. So we're like, yo, fuck this shit. And then he would always brag about her, like, what's she saying? Not knowing, literally, my other roommate is typing it. And so we had a suite, but he's in one room. Let me step back. We were in a suite. We shared a living room, bathroom situation. And there was 3 rooms off of that. But we had one giant unit like this. Imagine those other bedrooms in here. So he'd be in his room being like, yo, this girl's telling me to go to the salon. And we're like, no way. Not knowing my other roommate was typing it over here, which is so funny. And then one day we knew, he went down there all the time. And then one day we're like, yeah, I'm going to be working. You should stop by. He's like, okay, I got to go tan anyways. And we had him ask for Tatiana at the front desk. And he did, and he came back, and he's like, she's not a person. They're like, Tatiana doesn't work here. And then he came back, and we're like, hey, what's up with Tatiana? And then it clicked, and we all had a fun laugh. It was innocent. We didn't let it go farther. We didn't do things to incite sexual photos or behavior. It was guy on guy. It was 5 guys on 1 guy flirting. It was just very innocent. That's just how it was. I feel like we did it I think I took the success of that catfish, and sophomore year, or was that junior year, we catfished my buddy Mike with, I don't think the tanning salon girl's name was Tatiana. The junior year, again, we were in another suite, much upgraded suite, and we started talking to my other roommate, and we said that we were a girl who lived the floor below us. We were in room such and such. We were in 210, and we said, oh, I live on 105. And we said her name was Tatiana. I came up with the name because at our cafeteria there was a bagged cookie called Tatiana's Cookies. I enjoyed eating them, so I was like, hey guys, let's say her name's Tatiana. So we'd flirt. Oh yeah, I do this, blah blah blah. I don't even know where we got photos. I think we figured something out. I'm a sociopath. Do you see how mad I got when it was somebody else, and then when I'm doing it, it's just funny. Again, ours is lighthearted. It's man-on-man flirting, even though we're pretending to be a woman. But it's funny seeing what your buddies do to flirt. It's kind of, you get a little glimpse into their fucking little. You're looking around their brain. You're like, oh, you said that? That's gross. So anyways, because I'm a arsonist and I wanted to repeat the offense, we were like, hey, you should come down. I want to, my roommates are gone. I'm going to have a drink if you want to come hang out. And then he went and knocked on room 115 door and said, is Tatiana here? And they're like, no. Oh, that story. I could have told so much better. But then he came back upstairs like, what's up with Tatiana? And then I think we even lied and said the cookies were mine. It was that's one thing that's crazy. As a person who's done the catfishing, you get away with shit. As a guy, guys are so horny, they can get catfished. When women get catfished, you're just kind of fucking sad. You're a woman. You have guys hitting you all the time. But I think everybody, you have to have this vulnerability to you where you're just you just believe like something that like if somebody said to you in real life, you'd be like, no way. But like just because you're giving them such the benefit of the doubt, you're willing to believe it. And I remember us getting away with a couple lies in that scenario of like, yeah, they named the cookies after me, something like dumb like that, and you know we got them. What if you guys found out I have like 400 relationships going right now on the internet? And I'm just like, I just get called out. You want to hear some crazy? Speaking of all that, we watched the catfish thing and all this. Literally yesterday on the way to my San Diego show, a fellow comedian, her name's Kayla, very funny. She works for the guy who used to be the co-host of the show Catfish on MTV, and I'm going to be in one of his sketches that he's doing on the internet. I don't know what it's for, but what are the odds of all this? Like just everything, you know, the Manti thing and me and Noy doing the podcast, and then literally me just finding that out, but it's pretty crazy. Guys, I realize my brain was all over the place this episode. I came out swinging with anger. I talked about my camera penis. I said I was annoyed at everything. I said how I got annoyed at the catfisher on here, which again, let's look at Matty and his roommates. It wasn't just me. I'm talking like it was just me. It was me and my 5 other roommates pranking our other roommate who we knew, and it lasted no more than 2 days. I mean, it was very innocent and simple. Versus this one was like news and people were coming back from the dead. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not, don't lump me in, but regardless, was I wrong? Were we wrong for doing that? Yes, we were. But, you know, it was fun. So keep catfishing, everyone. Guys, I'm done here. Thank you so much. Feel free to like, subscribe, come to my comedy shows, link below, buy tickets, come hang out. I need you. Otherwise, these clubs tell me to go F myself. So, all right, have a wonderful week. Talk to you later. Bye.